Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is there. All right, this is part 8, section 1. Part 8, section 1 from my videographer, which by the way is now me. I think I have learned how to do this, so we'll see. All right, so you should have the fill in the blank, part 8. Part 8. Everybody turn to that, the fill in the blank, part 8. All right, but before we do it, we're always going to review. So you have your part 8, like right here, and then you should have in your binder on the other side, you know, the blank, the back of the last notes. So over here, I need one more hand. Over here, we're going to write down, we're going to do a little quick review of part 7. Like here, like I have done my little review of part 7. Real short, real quick. All right, part 7. So put a number 1, put elite became elite in 2 ways. The elite became elite in 2 ways. Write that down there just on the blank on the left-hand side. Elite became elite in 2 ways. And we've got to review. Every day we've got to review. You get this just once, it's not going to work. You've got to review. All right. Put a letter A under there. Imperial conquest. That's one of the ways the elite became the elite. Imperial conquest. They took over another country. The conquering country now becomes the elite. Imperial conquest. Letter B, widening global economy. Widening global economy, which is just a fancy AP term for more money's coming in now that we're trading globally. Now the Americas are in the show. That's the widening, bringing the Americas in. All right. So you have your A and a B, your A and your B. Now underneath B, indent it, put number 1, and we're going to go Manchu, Manchu. And in parentheses, put Qing, Q-I-N-G, Manchu. Then a dash and put IQ, IQ. Now let's see if we can figure out what the IQ stands for. Would it be intelligent quotient? No, it would be imperial conquest. They became elite by imperial conquest. So on the IQ, draw an arrow up to where you have imperial conquest. When you look at this later on, you remember what it means. Number 2, Creole, C-R-E-O-L-E, C-R-E-O-L-E. Remember, they're the pure Spanish blood in the Americas, the Creole. They were the elite. Put a little dash, IQ also. They became elite due to imperial conquest. Number 3, European gentry, European gentry. And put a little dash. That makes no sense. Put a G-E there. I have my own abbreviation. I don't know what it means. G-E, global economy. Draw a line up to global economy. That's how the European gentry became the elite. Number 4, entrepreneurs, and that's spelled E-N-T-R-E-P-R-E-N-E-U-R-S. Again, E-N-T-R-E-P-R-E-N-E-U-R-S. And put a G-E on it. Global economy. All right, now put a number 2 and put down some elites bit the dust. Some elites bit the dust. Put a letter A, the Zamindars, Z-A-M-I-N-D-A-R-S, Z-A-M-I-N-D-A-R-S. Remember the Zamindars? They were the tax collectors. Put a little dash beside them and put Mughal Empire, Mughal Empire. And in parentheses after Mughal Empire, put India, India. Letter B, nobility in Europe. Nobility in Europe. They bit the dust also. They used to be the elites. Now they're a big bag of used to be the elites. Because the merchants, everyone else is getting more money. Letter C, Daimyo in Japan. D-A-I-M-Y-O. Daimyo in Japan. Remember, they're the ones Tokugawa made come live in Tokyo. Just to keep an eye on them. All right, number 3, put demographic changes. Demographic changes. You put letter A, slaves taken from Africa. Slaves taken from Africa. And again, you see my little notes here. That's how yours should be looking. Something like that. Letter B, European population increased. European population increased. Again, we're talking about demographic changes. In Africa, the population decreased. In Europe, the population increased. And can we think why? Well, I wish I was there, Socratic. Yeah. Because food from the Americas. Food from the Americas. All right. Number 4, the next big thing we covered. European merchants dealt with women for the first time. European merchants dealt with women for the first time. European merchants dealt with women for the first time in Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia. All right. Again, I mean, there were like 6 or 7 different little facts about that. I'm not teaching part 7 again. This is just a review. All right, number 5, demographic changes in America. Demographic changes in America. Put a letter A. The Creole, C-R-E-O-L-E, C-R-E-O-L-E, and Peninsulatus, P-E-N-I-N, P-E-N-I-N-S-U-L-A-R-E-S, L-A-R-E-S, Peninsulatus. Now remember, the Creole were the pure-blood Spanish that lived in the Americas. The Peninsulatus were their bosses in Spain. They're the big guys. That's what the Peninsulatus is. The Creoles kind of didn't like the Peninsulatus because they're giving all these orders, but you're not here. You don't know what's going on here. You're giving stupid orders. Letter B, mestizo. M-E-S-T-I-Z-O. M-E-S-T-I-Z-O. That's a mixture between European and Indian. A mestizo, like a Spanish guy would marry an Indian woman. That's it. The little thing that pops out would be mestizo, a mixture. Letter C, mulatto. M-U-L-A-T-T-O. Mulatto. And that's a mixture of European and African. European and African, the slaves. And again, those are demographic changes in America. If you have a compare and contrast question, compare demographic changes in America to Europe during this era, man, you ought to be able to slam on it. I mean, just go, go, go. All right. Now that review, I'm looking at my counter here, took 9 minutes. We need to review every single day. All right, let's get started on Part A. Look now on Part A. You fill in the blank, Part A. All right. Number 1, for the next couple of lessons, we're going to be dealing with state consolidation and imperial expansion. State consolidation. That means the country. Those of you who had me in Human Geo last year, state means the country. They're consolidating everything under their control. That's state consolidation. All right. Imperial expansion just means going and conquering more countries. AP just likes to put it real fancy ways. That's what imperial expansion, like if Spain has Cuba, Well, they also won Haiti, so that's imperial expansion. Just keep getting bigger and bigger. All right, letter A. Empires expanded and conquered new people, but had problems incorporating so many culturally, ethnic, and religious diverse people. This is what we're going to get into. We're going to find when these countries are imperializing the smaller countries, they have some problems. These people are totally different culture than they are. And lots of times they'll conquer this big area, and within that area you have these little bitty cultures, and they hate each other. And they just put them all together. Those of you from Human Geo, remember the tyranny of the map? This is what we're talking about. I need to teach Human Geo and world history at the same time someday, before I die. Letter B, they had problems administrating such widely dispersed territories. You get such a big thing, it's hard to control it all. These imperial countries are not thinking ahead. They're not thinking, what are we going to do once we have all this? You know, kind of like in the Middle East, when we're fighting the Persian Gulf Wars, during the first war, when we conquered Baghdad, we took over Baghdad. We knocked out Saddam Hussein. And everyone's going, yeah, way to go, America #1. And we are. And then someone goes, okay, what do we do now? I don't know. We didn't think this far ahead. We've got this country now. We've got Iraq. It's ours now. How are we going to govern it? You know, they didn't think about that, didn't go that far ahead, didn't have a plan for that. That's exactly what's going on now. These countries, imperial countries, the strong countries, are defeating all these little bitty countries, but they don't have a plan. Once they get in there, what are they going to do? Letter C, for the first time, European powers moved into centuries-old existing trade routes. For the first time, Europe is now dealing with the Indian Ocean trade routes. They've got the technology to get around Africa now. They're having to deal with the Indian Ocean trade route. Can you think of one problem we already know? Are you saying European merchants dealing with women for the first time? They've never done that. Did you say that? Sure you did. Letter D, in Africa and the Indian Ocean, nascent. Now look what nascent means. Just beginning, but has signs of potential. That's what the word nascent meant. It's just starting, but it might work kind of deal. European empires consisted of interconnected trading posts and enclaves. For the first time, you're dealing with this trading partner who also trades with this person. So that's what it means with interconnected trading routes. You're dealing with the Silk Roads, who is also having some trade with the Indian Ocean. Or you're dealing with the Mediterranean trade that also has dealing with the Silk Roads. That's interconnected trading routes. All right. E, in the Americas, European empires moved more quickly to settlements and territorial control, responding to local demographic and commercial conditions. And we'll get to that. Letter F, the creation of European empires in the Americas quickly fostered a new Atlantic trade system. We got that. G, around the world empires pursue strategy of centralization. These included a more efficient tax system that put strains on the peasant producers and sometimes led to local rebellions. We're going to find out these conquering countries, the people they conquered, are going to rise up against them in some situations. Letter H, rulers used public displays of art and architecture to legitimize their state power. I, African states shared certain characteristics with larger Eurasian empires. And J, changes in some West and Central African states, especially on the coast, led to a rise of new states and contributed to the decline of states on both the coast and the interior. I know I'm zipping through this, but I'm looking at my counter, and I got to hurry to get through with this because I can't go over 15 minutes. And this is just a summary of what we're going to do. I know I rushed through that. We're going to get into each one of those specifically. As a matter of fact, we will do that in part 2. No smoking.